Hello everyone, I'm the LADO for Walsall Council based here in the West Midlands. My name is Tina Cooper. Today's presentation is to provide an overview of the LADO role, an understanding of the managing allegations process for staff working with children, looking at the legal context, thresholds, referrals, clarify key roles and responsibilities, and finally looking at learnings from serious case reviews. As a LADO, I'm a qualified registered social worker. I've worked as a volunteer, practitioner and also a manager. And I've been in post here in Walsall since September 2020. All the managing allegations LADO documents, the referral forms, the flowchart are on the Walsall Safeguarding Partnership website, and there is a link on the slides, or you can Google Walsall LADO and it will take you to the links. So what the LADO does, so as a LADO, I manage all the allegations made against people in a position of trust who work with children, anyone under the age of 18 years, in either a paid or voluntary role in the Walsall area. And it includes all social care settings, residential, foster care, early years, education, college, faith settings, youth clubs, sports, education, transport, police, health, voluntary sector. It's quite a unique role, and that ensures individuals are treated fairly and consistently when an allegation has been made against them. It also focuses on supporting standards, best practice, safer recruitment of staff, ensuring robust risk assessments are in place, supporting learning, development and training, safeguarding children and promoting the well-being of children. All local authorities must have a designated officer or team to be involved in the management and oversight of allegations against people that work in paid employment or a voluntary capacity with children in accordance with statutory guidance. And the key guidance is working together to safeguard children, keeping children safe in education, safer working practices in education settings. And I have put the dates on the slides if you did want to look at those documents. In terms of LADO thresholds, there's 4 thresholds to consider for a LADO referral in light of an allegation or concern that an individual has behaved in a way that has harmed a child or may have harmed a child, possibly committed a criminal offence against or related to a child, behaved towards a child or children in a way that indicates they may pose a risk of harm to children, or behaved or may have behaved in a way that indicates they may not be suitable to work with children. One or more of the criteria should be met. This relates to any current allegations as well as historical concerns or allegations. All settings working with children should have clear policies in line with those from the local safeguarding partnership for dealing with allegations against people who work with children. If there are concerns of significant harm, as an individual or professional, you should contact MASH or the police in the first instance, and the details are available on the slides. If there are concerns, but it's unclear that any of the thresholds are met, as a LADO, I am available for advice and guidance, and I do offer a no-named advice service to all settings professionals or those who have concerns about an individual. If the concerns do not meet the threshold criteria, advice will be offered how to manage the concerns. If the concerns do meet the threshold, a written referral should be submitted within 24 hours of the concern becoming evident. In terms of transferable risk, this relates to concerns, behaviours in an employee or volunteer's private life that may highlight there is a transferable risk to children in their professional life. As a LADO, I'll consider such cases in liaison with relevant agencies such as the police, children's services, probation and the employer to determine the right course of action to address these risks. For example, problematic drug and alcohol use, which may make them a risk of harm to children they work with, involvement in acts of violence towards others, for example, domestic abuse. When a written referral is received, as a LADO, I'll contact the referrer to discuss if telephone consultation has already not taken place to agree the next steps to address the concerns and allegations with regard to the individual, consider any perceived risks to children and how this will be managed, and any immediate safeguarding decisions in respect of the individual to ensure the individual is supported. If threshold for continued LADO involvement is met, a multi-agency position of trust meeting is, if it's required to address the allegation, this should be held within 5 working days of the referral being received. Currently, all position of trust meetings are held via Microsoft Teams. Initial position of trust meetings will consider 3 strands: the investigation of any criminal offence, and if this is appropriate and required. Enquiries and assessments by children's services, whether a child needs protection or in need of services, where the child protection threshold is met, or there are children within the household or family network of the individual under discussion. A Section 47 investigation may be invoked by the relevant children's services team. And thirdly, any perceived need for an investigation and or disciplinary action by an employer in respect of the individual. An action plan will be formulated and tasks assigned under the 3 strands of investigation. A review POT meeting will be held if required within 28 days to review progress against the plan. Further review POT meetings or electronic POT updates will take place as required. As a LADO, I monitor progress in all cases monthly. And as a LADO, I don't investigate. The LADO coordinates the investigation allegations process. The outcome of the POT process, as a LADO, I remain involved until all inquiries and investigations are concluded, and together with the relevant participants, either via a final POT meeting or a telephone discussion, the outcome in respect of the original allegation is considered on a balance of probability based on the presenting information and evidence. The meeting is satisfied that the event more likely than not occurred. We also consider any ongoing risk to children, and also the outcome should be agreed by all the participants. If this cannot be agreed by everyone, then as a LADO, I will make the final decision. So in terms of the allegation outcomes, there are five outcomes, which are substantiated, where there is sufficient evidence to prove the allegation; malicious, there is sufficient evidence to disprove the allegation, and there has been a deliberate act to deceive or cause harm to the person subject of the allegation; false, there is sufficient evidence to disprove the allegation; unsubstantiated, there is insufficient evidence to either prove or disprove the allegation. The term therefore does not imply guilt or innocence. And finally, unfounded, to reflect cases where there is no evidence or proper basis which supports the allegation being made. It might also indicate that the person making the allegation misinterpreted the incident or were mistaken about what they saw. Alternatively, they may not have been made aware of all the circumstances. If an allegation is found to be substantiated and following an employment investigation disciplinary process, the individual is dismissed, the employer has a duty by law to refer to the Disclosure and Barring Service, also known as DBS, who will subsequently liaise with myself as LADO. DBS will make a safeguarding decision regarding barring and what information will appear on the individual's DBS certificate. Further information is available on the dbs.gov.uk website. Consideration is also given to other regulatory bodies being informed, for example, the Teaching Regulation Agency, the General Medical Council, Social Work England. If an individual resigns during an employment investigation, DBS and regulatory bodies are still informed if appropriate. By resigning, the individual is unable to appeal the employment investigation. Record keeping and POT minutes. Details of allegations following an investigation found to be malicious or false should be removed from personal records. unless the individual gives their consent for retention. However, for all other allegations, it's important that the information is kept clearly and comprehensively on the individual's file. POP meeting minutes will be distributed to attendees within 5 working days, and any inaccuracies need to be highlighted to the LADO within 10 days of receiving the minutes. Minutes should not be photocopied or content shared outside of the meeting without the agreement of the chair, that being the LADO. POP minutes are confidential and will not be shared with the person under discussion without prior agreement from the chair/LADO. If agreed, minutes are redacted to protect children. POP minutes should be kept in the restricted or confidential section of agency files, and minutes must not be kept in the child's file, whether that's paper or electronic. If further disclosure is requested by another party or external agencies such as DBS or the TRA, you need to contact the LADO, and I'll make a direct contact with those requesting the minutes to ensure compliance with GDPR. Roles and responsibilities. All organisations should designate a named senior officer to whom allegations or concerns should be reported. This person will ensure allegations are dealt with in accordance with safeguarding procedures, and that staff know who they are and how to bring concerns to their attention. All staff have a responsibility to keep children and workers safe and report concerns, and it's important for staff to keep an open mind. Serious case reviews regarding individuals who have abused children in the workplace have highlighted concerns and learnings. And the key learnings are that settings should have a robust recruitment procedures and processes in place, have a clear whistleblowing procedures, codes of conduct for staff, a culture of vigilance within organisations and settings, clear lines of support and training for staff, seeking outside advice and support. And as a final note, I just wanted to make sure that if you're unable to make contact with myself and you need to make an immediate safeguarding decision, please contact your HR department, Walsall MASH or the police. Thank you for taking time to listen to this presentation.